Hi everybody, it's Richard here again and welcome to another video. This is volume 6 of my inbox videos where I show recent purchases of new and used vinyl. First up is a 7-inch and it's David Bowie's Boys Keep Swinging 40th anniversary picture disc with I Pray Ole on the B-side, which was a bonus cut on the 1990 Ryko Vision stroke EMI Sound and Vision series. This has never been on vinyl since that, and it's not been released digitally either since that, I don't believe. So it's good to have that on vinyl, even though I don't play these things, these are just for show. So that there's David Bowie's Boys Keep Swinging, and the next one up due in the series is DJ. Okay, new vinyl. Why on earth did I buy that again? This is my favourite album of all time, Diamond Dogs. Well, quite simply because it is my favourite album of all time, and it got a release on super wonderful red vinyl. So, limited edition, so there's no way I could pass that up under any circumstances. I did get the Aladdin Sea and Silver one, which looks more like grey than silver, but still, and I got the two gold Ziggy and Hunky Dory ones. Okay, another new purchase is this 12-inch single by Nick Lowe, one of my favourite artists. I'm going to do a series on a spotlight on Nick Lowe very soon. This is a 4-track 12-inch single. This is not even released on CD, so it's only available on vinyl or digital or streaming, of course, but it just goes to show how far CDs have gone downhill. You may be able to get it in Japan, but you're going to pay a price for it in CD. These are the same four songs on each side, but they're in a slightly different order. So the main side is Love Starvation, Blue on Blue, Trombone and Raincoat in the River. And on the second side is Trombone, Blue on Blue, Raincoat in the River and Love Starvation. So it's a weird concept, but again it's good to see Nick Lowe releasing music. He released a double pack single last year and now this 4-track EP, and I just wish he would release a new album, to be quite honest with you. Okay. Last new vinyl I'm going to show, and I bought this last Saturday. I went to Tesco's to buy a jar of Patak's Balti curry sauce, and of course I had to have a wee quick look to see if it had any vinyl, and I've been tempted to pull the trigger on this so much, and I never have, and I finally decided to do it. It was a reasonable price, and it gets such a great reputation, which I could never understand. And that's the Stone Roses debut album. I was surprised to find that the song Fool's Gold wasn't on this, but it's actually not bad. Is it as good as people make it out to be? I don't know, I need to play it a few times. My mate at university used to have this and he played it quite a bit, but it sort of went in one ear and out the other with me, so it did. I wasn't overly keen on the way the sound was going in the early 90s with that baggy sound, and they were really the start of it, I think. Maybe not. But yeah, it's not bad. I quite enjoy it, and I will definitely play this again. Okay, into the second-hand vinyl. And this came into my local-ish shop, and I had to pick it up. And that's the Sweet Level-Headed, and it's in great condition. This is the last album with Brian Connolly on vocals. They made 3 more albums without him on vocals, and they're not as good. This is actually a very strong album. It's got Love Is Like Oxygen on it. But the version here is the LP version, which is about 6 minutes long, and it's almost their Bohemian Rhapsody. It goes off into sort of classically type music as well in the middle, so yeah, it's a good album. It's not their best, but it's pretty far up there, and so that's the Sweet Level-Headed. Hard to find actually, I very rarely see this, although way back in the day in the early 80s I used to see this all the time in cut-out bins, all the time in cheapy bins, but now it's in demand. Okay, I picked this one up because I quite fancied having all these hits in the one album. I've got the singles. This is the Stag Console Singular Adventures of. There's a couple of different versions on here as well. You're the Best Thing is slightly different to the single, slightly remixed. And there's one other, and I can't remember which one it is. Well, doesn't really matter. Could be not somewhere, I'm not sure. But the Stag Console, I thought were a fantastic singles band. They weren't a bad albums band, but you had to be in the mood for them. Their music now I appreciate more album wise than I did back then. I think Cafe Blue is a bit of a lost classic. Our Favourite Shops maybe a little bit overproduced, or 80s production. Cost of Loving is absolute tripe, and the last one was Confessions of a Pop Group, which I thought was actually quite good. But this is good to have on vinyl. I didn't actually have this on CD. I do have the greatest hits with the original, all the original versions on CD. But yeah, I saw this. I thought it was reasonably cheap, but I'll get it. Okay, this band I thought I would buy because I was talking about the Motors in a few videos ago with the first Motors album I got, and I noticed it was a guy called Nick Garvey. And I knew his name from somewhere, and I found out it was from the Fingerprints. He produced the Fingerprints, he wasn't in them, he produced them. He also produced Reckless Eric, which made me go back to my Fingerprints single called Bulletproof Heart. Played it, loved it, so I went and looked out the album. So this is the Fingerprints Distinguishing Marks, and this is like a Scottish band, I believe. New wave with a little bit of synth thrown through it. It's around 1980. So yeah, I really enjoyed this. So I went and picked up the one after it, which is Beat Noir, and that's a very good album. This is a little bit more dancey. But I also noticed I had a single by the Silencers called Bulletproof Heart, and I thought, this is a great song because these guys are doing such a fantastic version of it as well. Then I found out the Silencers are really a reformed Fingerprints, and they re-released the song, or re-recorded it. But yeah, good to have these. I will look out for their debut album because I can't find any Fingerprints on CD. It's only on vinyl, and I'm really pleased with these two. So, Fingerprints. Around 79, I fancied this, so I went for it. M. Pop music. This is New York, London, Paris, Munich. Just giving you time to repeat, or to say, fill in the rest, which I know you probably did. Yeah, I never had the pop music single, but I did have the follow-up single, or one of the follow-ups, which was That's the Way the Money Goes, which is on here as well, although it's a slightly different version. And there's another single in here which I can't remember the name of. Where is it? No, I can't see it. Moonlight and Music, sorry. Moonlight and Music, it's pretty good too. That whole album's a really nice listen. It is very 70-90 and it's enjoyable, and I'm glad I bought it. And again, this was pretty reasonably priced internet. Okay, I decided to buy this because I've heard so much about this album, and I've seen it on the VC and everybody raves about it. And I remember when this came out and everybody was raving about it, but nobody actually ever heard it. I had never heard it. And they said, oh, it's fantastic, it's fantastic. Have you heard it? No, I haven't. Well, how do you know it's fantastic? So I thought I would pick it up. And that's the Lone Justice album. Maria McKee, obviously the singer. This is Dolly Parton on speed. So it is. This is her firing through. She sounds like Dolly Parton, speeded up a bit. I played this last night. This is actually quite good. It's just country rock. Is it as great as people make it out to be? No, not really, but it's still a very enjoyable listen. I hear their second album is not so good because they changed the style, and then she obviously, with Show Me Heaven, went a bit mainstreamy. But yeah, it's a good album. Glad I got it. Okay, picked this up for very little money. and I haven't played it yet, and this is The Associates, Perhaps, and this is the follow-up to Sulk. I do remember the Waiting on the Love Boat single, but that's all I know of this. Looking forward to hearing this actually. I don't know if it's any good. It may be a complete clunker, but I saw it cheap, so I went for that. Okay, and this is another one I fancied getting. Excuse me, the Blow Monkeys Choices, the Singles Collection. I do have another Blow Monkeys album, which I recently got, but I thought I would show this because it's better. I had the single Wicked Ways, which I always liked. I knew digging your scene, and it doesn't have to be this way. And I like them, and this made me buy this, and it's a good album, but those 3 songs I just mentioned are without a doubt the best 3 on it. But yeah, Blow Monkeys, this is as far as I'll go I think now. I've got, what's the Animal Magic album plus this, and that's enough for me. Oh, let's get depressing now, and I saw this in our local record shop, which you very rarely see, and this is the Songs of Leonard Cohen. This is a classic album, I don't care what anybody says. Yes, it's depressed, really down and depressing, but it is an absolute gem of an album. This is going very cheap as well. Suzanne, Master Song, So Long Marianne, Hey That's No Way to Say Goodbye. Wonderful. I've got this in CD, but it's a wonderful, wonderful album. I would like to get a lot of Leonard Cohen's on vinyl, but I'm not going to go mad with him. He's the sort of artist, if I see it, I'll pick it up. I won't go looking for it. And then we have, I really fancied this and it was going cheap. I've no need for it, but I wanted it. This is the Rolling Stones, Sucking in the 70s. This is like the follow-up to Made in the Shade, where it takes in the period really of Black and Blue and Some Girls and a little bit of Emotional Rescue. It also has one song, the best song from It's Only Rock and Roll, Time Waits for No One, which should have been on Waiting in the Shade, or Made in the Shade, instead of Dance Little Sister. But yeah, this is actually not a bad listen. If you look at the track list, you think it's a bit weak, but it really does work. And there's an unreleased song, Everything Is Turning to Gold, on here, which I do have in single, but I saw this and I thought, I really fancy it, I really want it, and it was cheap, so I went for it. Okay, now, a couple of pound bin ones. So I haven't played this, but I bought this here. This is the Walker Brothers, No Regrets, on the strength of the title track, which I love. I just love that song in general. I've heard, obviously, these guys do it, which is great. Mid-Year does a great version. Even Olivia Newton-John does a great version. So I don't know what the rest of this album's like, so it'll be interesting to play, and I'll probably play this tonight. Only £1, so if it's not too good, well, it's not the end of the world. And the last pound bin one, and I thought, I bought this for the name only, and I thought, well, we'll try it and see what it's like. And this is Grace Slick, and this is Dreams. This sounds like Shirley Bassey to me. The first song, Dreams, does sound like Shirley Bassey singing a stage show song. I was slightly shocked. It's not a fantastic album at all. In fact, it's pretty crap, to be honest with you. There are a couple of good songs. Funny enough, the best songs on here are the ones that she actually wrote herself. This is a 1980 album, and I was expecting something sort of psychedelic, you know, in the Jefferson Airplane, Jefferson Starship mode or whatever, even though I don't know very much about them either. But I knew it wouldn't be as poppy as the Starship, Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now, so I thought it would be something in between, but it's not what I expected. Nice cover, but not a very good album. Okay, so that's my some of my vinyl finds of the past month or so. But I also got a request from a couple of my singles. Sorry. Yeah, a couple of my singles called out to me and says, "We want to be on your video. We have got something to say." And so I said, okay, fair enough. You probably think I'm going mad here, but no. So anyway, here's the two singles that want to say what they want to say. Alright guys, yeah, okay. Okay, that's all for me. Sorry about that. And hopefully I'll have another video quite soon. All the best now. Bye bye.